Come one, come all to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. Come one, come all to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. Give praises to Jehovah, from whom all blessings, blessing and knowledge will flow. Blessing and knowledge will flow. The Village Talk Show, dedicating to empowering the community to live a healthy, safe, and financially capable life, helping each one of us in realizing our dream at any age, any point, starting from today, day. Success. Come one, come all to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. Come one, come all to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. Success is not spoken, it is done. Success is done. Come on now. The Village Talk Show. Talk Show. The Village Talk Show.
Welcome to the Village Talk Show. Thank you for joining us today, Thursday. Looking forward to hearing each one of you as you join us live on so many different channels out there today. All right, so today you get an opportunity to listen up and talk to us and have conversations with us, right? Because we have so many things that we need to do and so many things we have to talk about today. And we're here. We're waiting on you. So the Village Talk Show is dedicated to empowering the community to live a healthy, safe, and financially capable life through education. Helping each one of us in realizing our dreams at any age, at any point, starting from today, where success is not just spoken, it is done. What are you doing to be successful? You can catch the Village Talk Show in so many outlets, making sure that you share it with friends, with colleagues, or with the family members. I know some people, family, which is awesome, sit around and we listen as a family as to what's happening in our community. All right, what's happening in our community out there in the world. So it helps us to catch up on some of the news that we might have missed and have some conversation during and giving your points. Like, what are your points when it comes to certain issues that relates to the national, international, well, let's go big to small, right? So international, national, state, and then the municipality, our local municipality. So come join us, come ask questions, come reach out, come whatever you need to do right here. Come one, come all, come learn and grow, right? Come learn and grow right here on the Village Talk Show. All right. So many things are happening. I want to start off with today yesterday marks the 2-year I don't know what you call it. What would you call it, ladies and gentlemen? I say anniversary, right? I say anniversary, but then I change it to, I don't know, Andre, what would you call it? 2 year uh, prognosis, prognosis. Um, this is yesterday is officially 2 years since I was diagnosed, right?
Of winning the battle.
Winning the battle.
Yeah, in the war.
Interesting, interesting. I don't know what to call it. So Andre called it 2 years. There's always one word, whether it's the anniversary or memoriam, right? The I'm not sure. I'm not sure, right? Andre, you didn't put the YouTube thing on the output. You can catch us on the YouTube Village Talk Show. Okay, but you didn't put the link. That's what I'm saying. All right. So, oh, you don't want me to say that out loud? I already said it out loud. I'm going to take it back. All right. Andre wants me to take that back. So I take it back. But I just said, kumbaya. Kumbaya, man. So, yeah. So today, today's a chemo day. But 2 years ago, yesterday, mark the official announcement, right? 2 years ago, yesterday was the official. So that's the biopsy came in, and they did the test, they did everything, and then they officially announced that your boy had stage 4 pancreatic cancer. So that announcement officially came out. Yes, 2 years ago, yesterday. So, I've gone through this chronology with everyone. So December 4th, I went in, and then on December 4th, I found out in the morning unofficially what the problem was, and then that all of that happened, and then there December 11th I did the biopsy, and then December 15th I did the I got the results. The doctor called me and informed me of the situation, right? So informed me like, hey, Mr. Daly, this is what's happening. So that was exactly 2 years ago yesterday, when all of that came in. Thursday, I hated Thursday, because Thursday I went in to do the test, right? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 11, 12, 13, 14, right? So I got this stupid call back that says, oh yeah, it's official, Mr. Daly. This is what is happening, right? So that was that. So, but guess what? Please note that it is December 2021, and 2022 is almost here. And so, with that being said, I am saying to everyone in a very clear and resounding voice, whether you believe it or not, I am here to say to you that God is real. He is real more than you could ever imagine. They gave me, and I will repeat this forever, they gave me 6 months, right? They gave me 6 months, Andre. 6 months. And today is 2 years. All right. And so who am I to question God? The doctor takes a lot of credit, which I'm not upset with him for taking the credit. that's up to him to take the credit. But to say that he has done the science is working. The science, I'm like, yeah, the science is working, but science works through God, and um, so therefore, things are changed. So many people have gone on before. So many people have gone on before me. People who are the people expected to be around, and I'm still here, right? So let's give God a praise. Let's give God a word of thanks for what He has done and what He will continue to do. So those of you who don't believe in God, I am clearly stated that you're wrong. I am clearly stating that you need to put your trust and your faith in Him, because He is the breather of life. And not only is He the breather of life, but He's also the savior of life. So, ladies and gentlemen, know that He exists. Because, like I said, so many people have gone on. Some people who were healthier than me, doing well. Went from 174 to 114
In what weight?
in weight,
Oh,
60 pounds.
it look like you came back, man.
Yeah, so now I'm around. I'm in the 150s. So that means
Progress.
that's beyond progress. So
This is happiness.
I thank God for that. I'm doing some stuff. So I don't know if the conversation I've had prolonged anyone's life, but I know that if you do some of the things that I did, it probably will be helpful. So I want to thank everybody for reaching out to me, praying for me, even when I'm not able to hear you, but God hears. So that's that. I see you, Mr. You're always in my prayers, Rudy. Every Sunday, I include you in my prayers for the faithful. God bless. So thank you for that, Mr. Gentile. Thank you so much for that. And there are a lot of people out there. There are a lot of prayers going up. So I believe in the power of prayer. So you need to pray. You have questions, can ask me. Joan Henry with the CMOS, the John Williams giving me the strong Jewish Christian Carter, making me some punches. My mother-in-law, God rest her soul, came over and took care. I mean, like literally, God sent a lot of help. He did. Thank you, Horace. God, glad you're here, King. God is definitely using you in this earth. I appreciate that. I tell people all the time, learn to pray, learn to be thankful. You're not in this alone. You're never in a fight alone. Don't put yourself alone in the fight. Don't do the question of why me? Why couldn't it be that person? I never do that. I never question why me. And if I did come up with the why me, I think my only answer is because I am here to send a message and be a testimony. So I can't speak for everyone out there, but I want to make sure that I am clear, that to inform you, if you don't believe, I'm telling you that there is a God and He exists. I'm not telling what religion to go to. I just want to make sure that you believe that there's a God and that you need to honor and worship him. So I'm just telling each and every one of you that, um, you know, out there, trust me on this one. So with that being said, right, right. So that's that's where I want to start. That's where I want to start with the conversation. I thank you for all those comments. Thank you, Simone. That is an awesome praise report. I appreciate that. God appreciates it more for us to understand that we need to continue to honor and bless him. Andre, can you pull up my laptop, please? So yeah. Um, Look at this. I'm so excited. I was supposed to do something for Andre and I totally forgot. I thought I'm asking him a question and I'm sitting here going, yes, I did. You know, so I need some Glinkamalova, ladies and gentlemen. Memory has to come back. It is, I have to write things down. If I don't do some things now, immediately I forget and I don't get done. And by the time I need to get them done, all right, by the time I need to get them done, it's too late. So let's talk. What's out there, what's out there in the news, right? So there are a lot of things happening. Um, my biggest one, well, all of them are big, right? All of them are big. But let's talk about schools and COVID. Schools and COVID. I'm getting so many phone calls. I've gotten at least 5 phone calls about schools and COVID. How many classes are shutting down, where parents are nervous for their children, right? Parents are nervous for their children about sending them to school. And ironically, I'm, I hear a lot of conversation around people still insisting that they don't want to take the vaccine. And it is your right not to take the vaccine, right? But I just had a conversation today, literally had a conversation. And again, the conversation went like this. The larger percentage of people who are in the emergency room are the people who are unvaccinated. The conversation, the dialogue still hasn't changed. However, the conversation, the primary conversation that is affecting us, right? The primary conversation that people are having, right, is that I should have the right to get the vaccine and not be mandated to get the vaccine. Right. Welcome, John. Welcome, Joanne. Both of you are late together. So
maybe we were out together. You never know.
Well,
I
don't. Wait. As funny as that sounds, I already know Dr. Bryant's response. So there, John, you tried. Her response is, no, that wouldn't be me. Go ahead. How? Yeah, Doc, please respond. He said maybe you two are out together.
No.
Okay, that's I told you, John. I told you, you're not going to get anything more out of her. All right. How you doing?
I want to go back. I was listening.
Wait, first, before you do anything else.
Good evening, everyone.
Thank you.
How are you? Welcome to the village. Good evening, Mr. Sampson.
Good evening, Dr. Brian. Good evening, Roger Daly.
Yes.
Good evening, Sophia. Good evening, Andre.
and everyone
Good
else.
evening,
Right.
villagers.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. So you were saying you were talking about what I was talking about.
I was listening to
Which one? 'Cause I was talking about a lot of things too.
about your anniversary, which
Is it
yeah,
anniversary? Would you call it
yeah,
anniversary?
I would say it is. You know, your anniversary that it's
My
not quite your
dubious anniversary.
well, you know what? It is the anniversary that God actually created to prove people wrong. So
Okay.
that's how I look at it.
Okay.
Because what man say, God say different.
All right,
So your survival.
what anniversary are you talking about?
Yesterday marks 2 years that officially was part.
Yeah, and you know what? I was speaking to you the night before. You end up going to the hospital. You were screaming at your boys. I'll never forget. I was. I was. I was like, oh my God. You know, one of them call you and was like, oh my God, put you on hold and everything. And I said, Lord have mercy, this man. So when oh cool. I'm sorry, I'm
Leonard
gonna
Stewart.
quick.
You want to
Yeah.
read it? You want to read it, Dr. Brian?
Sure, I'm glad that I saw this live. Your testimony of faith in God is real for your healing. He can do exceedingly and abundantly above all that we can ask or imagine. My son was just healed from COVID, so I know how great God is. God bless you and keep you, Mr. Daly. By the way, hi to Dr. Bryant and Mr. Sampson. Thank you.
Well,
Again,
okay,
it's great to see you on.
since it's the anniversary.
So you call it anniversary too?
No, you know what, Roderick? I don't even. You
No,
know,
I don't. I no. I'm just saying. I was asking.
I
out
mean,
there. I was asking out there.
what I look at it is in life. Life has so many twists and turns,
Mm-hmm.
and the only thing we can do is we can take it one day at a time.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's how I handle my situation, one day at a time. You know, not looking at the clock, not looking at the calendar, just taking it one day at a time. But most of all, faith and family. So at the end of the day, you know, the lines are open, villagers. So if you want to call in and just talk about, you know, is this Freestyle Thursday or what we talking about?
Yeah, it's freestyle Thursday.
Freestyle Thursday. We got Andre over there asleep. Last week he was eating all the food, him and Roderick, and now he's asleep. He don't look good. He got a mask over. What happened? You got COVID? What's going on, man?
Please don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say
Don't
that.
be jinxing my nephew like that.
Don't be saying
I
that.
wouldn't
Don't be
jinx him
saying
like
that.
that.
Let me tell you that no people.
What is interesting is, you know, my daughter's school is closed because of the increase in COVID cases.
Your daughter's in college.
She's in
Oh, which one? The youngest one?
yeah, the youngest one. Yep.
Yeah.
So this variant, and especially this time of the year, we're just getting back to everything, ladies and gentlemen. You know, God has our plans, and we have to leave it all in His hands.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just have to step away and just let Him take over. But in the process, continue with our faith, continue to stay strong, continue to stay diligent in our efforts to follow what He has chosen for us to follow. And at that point, everything else will take care of itself.
Yeah. Before you guys walked in, I was talking about the craziness.
We have a caller.
The craziness that's happening in the schools. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, that one.
Guy caller, you live?
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
It's Simone. I just want to take the chance to just give God all the glory, all the praise, all the honor for letting you live to see what I would call a 2-year anniversary, a 2-year new leaf on life.
Yes.
Like you say, many have been healthier and they're not here. So it's a rebirth. So this is your 2-year of being reborn again. So all praises, all glory, all honor goes to God, and nobody can tell me that prayers don't work. And when Jesus say yes,
nobody can say no. Yes.
None whatsoever. So we give all praises and honor to God. Okay.
Thank you, Simone.
For the church say,
you're welcome.
Amen.
You're welcome. Have a blessed one.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much for that. I appreciate
You're
that.
welcome. Bye bye.
Listen, I love your testimony. Unfortunately, you went through something traumatic, and you know you're still going through it. But the thing is to show that, hey, 6 months, and later on, we're still celebrating life with you, and celebrating you being here, and still giving us the mouth nonstop. So
I like that. I like that little throw in. I like that little throw in.
so I'm grateful because you're a brother to me. Definitely grateful. And yeah, so I don't think a day goes by and we don't pray for you. Definitely. And to say that if people don't believe in God, you're a walking testimony to show people that the power of God and his healing power is real. So there's nothing, like Simone said, that's impossible. And like Glennis said as well, nothing is impossible with God. So and it actually caused us to dig deeper in our faith because of what you went through. You know, sometimes God has a creative way of making us focus more on him. And boy, um when he wants us to spend more time with him and to get into prayer, he knows exactly what to do. So unfortunately, you know, we should be doing that on our own, but that extra, hey, Lord, you know, do you hear me once? Do you hear me twice? We won't stop knocking until we get the results. And it takes different trials and tribulation to get to that point, but it elevates us on another spiritual level that is necessary and where we need to be, because we're walking testimonies and we're your life is your testimony. That if
Amen.
anyone else don't believe, you can say you don't have to fight with anyone. I'm alive. That's it.
Hey, I see my friend Monet. You're right, man. You are a believer, and you helped me get through mine. So, big up, Monet. Big up.
Yeah, yeah. I
So
was.
let's get back to some good stuff. What's going on here with
What you
the
trying-
COVID?
wait,
What's going on with
wait,
the?
wait, wait,
Oh,
wait.
come
Are
on,
you
Doctor.
trying, wait, wait,
Hold your
wait.
horses down.
No,
Hold your
are
horses.
you
Come on.
trying to
Come
say
on.
that is not good stuff? His life is good
uh,
stuff. Stop it right there. Okay?
Yo,
One
she
earth.
animated. I like this. I like
Preach,
this.
preach.
I like I like the side of Joanne.
Yeah,
Yeah, Joanne.
we know
Hey,
it's. Come on.
Leave the doctor. The doctor is don't be interrupted. Doctor, you go ahead. Because he's somebody
Listen.
to my left is interrupted.
Oh, now he wants you to go ahead. All other times. Yeah,
Because
all right.
our value is
Wait, how
life.
often do we?
Let's-
Wait, how
let's
often do we get the
take
doctor
time
just
to
animated?
celebrate life. And right now we're celebrating life. We have bad diagnosis. We celebrate life. And that is it. I'm sorry. I'm celebrating Rudy Daly right now. That's it.
Oh,
Thank
brother.
God
The
for
show
that.
is canceled.
For
The
today.
show is canceled for today. It's Rudy Daily Day.
No, while I'm at it, on the sad side, before we get to the COVID, before we continue the conversation about the COVID, just want to take a moment of pause for a community board member, a local community board member, Dunstan Bowen, who left us earlier this month.
Mr. Bowen.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so he left us earlier this month. He's transitioned out of this life into next. So I just wanted to take a moment and, applaud him for the work that he did at the community level. He was, he was up there in age, but he was out there. Like,
Mr. Bowen was always out there.
Yeah, for some of these young people.
Always out there.
Yeah. So Mr. Bowen left us earlier in December. So God rest his soul. And, hopefully wherever he is right now, he's out there doing exactly what he's doing now, which is reaching out to the community, getting out there, doing what he's doing. So in the community in heaven, you have a community activist out there working on your behalf. So our condolences, the village, condolences does go out to the family of Mr. Dunstan Bowen. So that it's
Send flowers while people are still here. Give them
Yes.
their flowers, appreciate them. And there was a shout out to you, Roger. Glad you are here, King. God is definitely using you in this earth. So that was from Horace.
Yes. God bless. Thank you, Horace. I bless that. Speaking of giving flowers, give the two of you flowers now while you're alive, which is one, John, I got to tell you, man, I've always looked up to you.
No.
I know because I'm taller. That's all.
Not because I'm short and you're tall, but I looked up to you because, from a young age, you put yourself out there. What were you, like 31 or
30?
30 when you became elected? and then you just did work. You just kept battling and fighting for the community, and for all those years, and see your rise to becoming the head of the state senate, the second most powerful person here, third most powerful person in New York State, behind the governor and the lieutenant governor, to be head of the Senate as in terms of elected offices. So that was great. And, you know, Joanne being essentially a single mom, sending her kids to school, working hard, becoming a doctor, and always just out there just working. I mean, you guys are great people to aspire to be and to become, and leadership. I mean, you imagine, you know, we talk about that, but you from the community went to Mile 11 and Tilden, and say from those two places you became a lawyer. You know, that's says a lot, right? Because a lot of people think because you go to Tilden High School, right? Because you went to Tilden.
You hear this, lady?
No, I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. Remember, you got to remember when you went to Tilden back in the early 80s, right?
Yeah.
A lot of crack, cocaine, gang warfare going on. And
But a lot of our student bodies did very well. Until
yeah, but I know that, but a lot of people, you know what I always tell people, like my students, Joanne and John, people don't talk about you, the individual. They talk about the school.
right.
So in essence, you could be sometimes as good as you want to be, but they say Tilden High School, South Shore High School, Prospect Heights, Wingate is a terrible school. And if you begin to say, look, all of these people came out of the school,
Mhm.
you know, then maybe your eyes might turn. But sometimes the stigma of the negativity doesn't
It's more.
leave the community. So, you know, the stigma of being a single mom, the stigma of being a Tilden, I forgot what they're called, what they're
Blue Devil.
the Blue Devils, right?
Mm.
So the stigma of being there, me going to my 11, you know, Lafayette High School for a moment, the stigma is there, you know. And so kudos to both of you for what it is that you have accomplished over the years, and to ensure that we'll just continue to shine, right? That's what we're going to do right here in the village.
Well, thank you.
Monet is saying thank you, John.
Thank you, Monet.
All right. Good evening, Annette, and thank you joining me all the way from Florida. Annette is actually a very good singer. So she's an excellent singer. So going back to, we're going to talk about the COVID for a minute.
Yeah, let's
Dr. Brian's favorite subject, COVID.
COVID, doctor. Let's liven it up a little bit. Let's
first-
liven it up.
First, right?
Let's
the
do something
first thing-
controversial,
The
man.
first thing is
What? COVID's not controversial.
800,000 people officially have died in the United States.
Mhm.
800,000 people have died from COVID in the United States.
Wow.
That is, you know, 1% is 3.6 million. So a little bit is, am I do my numbers right?
Numbers
What
are
is the
wrong.
number now?
24.
How much?
824.
So
296.
824,000 people as of today. And what's the source so people know your source?
All right, so World of Meters. That's the one I-
World of Meters. All right. And their numbers are a little bit higher than other numbers. Their number, not, but their numbers are actually higher than Johns Hopkins. So, so the one that Andre uses is Worldometer, and that's his.
Everything comes together from so many-
Yeah, I know, but I'm just so like I want to use a smaller number because that's what people who don't believe in COVID like to use and sit there lying. So Worldometer has it as 824,000. What does Johns Hopkins have it as? Right. Johns Hopkins has it at least 800, that I know. So if you think about this, with 800 people dying of COVID,
Mhm.
everybody in the world, in the United States, knows somebody who died, directly knows somebody who died of COVID. I can't think of anybody who doesn't know somebody who died of COVID, John. When you say 800,000 people,
803,000.
right? So Johns Hopkins is 803. Worldometer had the 824. right? 21,000 difference. Now, I don't know why they got their numbers different, but both of them have over 800,000. Everybody in America does not know somebody who died from the COVID vaccine.
Does not or do know?
Does not know somebody who died from the COVID vaccine, not from taking the vaccine and then getting COVID. I'm talking about dying from taking, like people are like, oh, we don't know what's in the vaccine. It's going to kill us.
Right. So
Everybody in America doesn't know that. The numbers also show that if you're vaccinated, you're less likely to be hospitalized and die. And that 800,000 is, if you disaggregate the data, you will find out that less than 1% of those people who died were vaccinated.
Well, I mean, they just came out with a FDA came out today. I think they say they would prefer that people take the Moderna and Pfizer vaccine as opposed to Johnson and Johnson.
Right, that's true.
Because when they did the test of those who actually did take the Johnson and Johnson vaccine, there were 2 people out of every million people that took it. There were 2 people that died.
Mhm.
There are 2 people that died out of that million.
Right. But again,
who took the vaccine.
Right. So again,
but there were other complications.
Yeah, they had underlying conditions.
Yeah, but did they compare apples to apples? Did they give the data for Pfizer and Moderna as well?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Mm.
The big issue is COVID. But
you can move your mouth like that all you want to, Doc, but they did.
Right. So if you did the numbers again, let's put it like this. So going on John's numbers, 2 person out of a million. 2, because the actual number is 0.004%.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the number
is. 2 individuals died.
Yes.
Out of per million.
Per million. So
and which one was from Moderna and
hold on, excuse me, hold on. There were 54. What was the number? There were 54 people who got sick, and there were 9 people who died.
From where? Which one?
Taking it from those who took the.
We're talking about what we're talking about is a direct hit from the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I don't think they're giving true data.
No, that's the argument of the non-believers, right? So no matter what you say to a non-believer, hold on, let me finish the thought. No matter what you say to a non-believer, they're gonna say it's a lie. But there is no study, none. And I dare the non-believer to give me a study that shows that there's a 50%, a 80-20%, a 90-10%, a 95-5%, right? A 98-2%.
Mm-hmm.
I dare that person to show me that there is a 9-to-1 relationship between the vaccinated and the unvaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
I need that. So when you Jamani Williams always say something, and I've said this before. What he says: if one dies, is one too many.
True.
Right, and we're all in agreement of that.
Mm-hmm.
Because nobody wants anybody to die. As a matter of fact, even if you are 99 years old, we don't want you to die.
Right.
I'm always looking at Betty Davis, John, who's turned, I think she's just about 100. She's one of my favorite comedians.
Mm-hmm.
Betty White?
Betty White, and not Betty Davis. Thank you for the correction. And I'm always looking if she's around. Because I think she's funny as hell. Because I'm not looking, my grandmother died at 94.
Wow, God bless her.
Right? And as a matter of fact, she would have celebrated her 100th birthday last week.
My grandmother died at 92.
Right. And we still wish they were still around because
Yeah.
nobody wants anybody to die. So let us be clear about what I'm saying. I'm not wishing death on anyone. As a matter of fact, I was just having a conversation with my son coming back from the doctor today. When somebody's bad, a gangster, a gang leader, somebody prays that they still live and hope that they will change.
Mm-hmm.
right? So let's just get it out of the ear. But the fact is, when some people, no matter what you say to them, if I don't want to believe something that is in front of me, I'm gonna leave it that way as to not to believe.
Right.
No, I just want to see the data that they have for Pfizer and Moderna, because the thing is, they only gave. You said, John, you said that Pfizer and Moderna.
They said that's the reason why they did not give that recommendation for.
So how many people died from Pfizer or Moderna?
They didn't provide that.
Exactly.
Moderna, but
So-
Moderna. Wait. Hold on. I have a question, Dr. Brian. I have a question.
She just don't want to take.
An
it back.
audience, please chime in.
Mhm.
Are you saying that you believe that the people who died from Pfizer or Moderna who have COVID, the vaccinated people who died from COVID, is still greater than the non-vaccinated?
No,
you just want to see the numbers. So I'm just asking.
I want to see the numbers that they
Again,
decided.
that didn't answer my question.
No,
Are you
listen,
comparing the unvaccinated versus vaccinated? We all we're doing is saying which is the best vaccine to take, and we
Well,
all.
here's the thing.
But
I'm
we
not
all
gonna
knew.
agree.
Hold on.
No.
We all
I'm not going to
knew.
agree with their recommendation.
But we
They're
all
not
knew
providing
from
the
last
same
year.
data.
Wait, Dr. Brian. We all knew from last year that
Mhm.
Johnson & Johnson was the lowest level of protection,
According to who?
of efficacy, and we knew that.
I
So
don't
we
know.
know that Moderna and Pfizer.
But they're the only one that actually used the virus to actually.
Moderna. Wait, hold on. Moderna, Pfizer, and I don't remember the order.
Mhm.
AstraZeneca, and then Johnson & Johnson. Now, it might have been Moderna first, then Pfizer, or Pfizer, Moderna. I don't remember in terms of efficacy, right? We knew that from December of last year. So for us to get a number that says that Johnson & Johnson is at the bottom and Moderna and Pfizer at the top, that's not inconsistent, right? That's not inconsistent with the knowledge that we already had over a year ago.
I'm going to stop because my dad sent me a text. Definitely. My grandmother died at 98 and she missed it by a couple of months to become 99. So I had to stop on that. So grandma would have been 99 years old. She almost made it to 100.
We all turn. So like, like everybody, like everybody's waiting for the second coming, but nobody wants to die to get to the second coming, right? We're all like that. That's just a human thing. That's why I don't want nobody. I want no one to die.
So my beef with this argument is, if you're going to give me the information for Johnson & Johnson, I want to see the same information for Moderna.
But
And
he basically gave you the information though.
No.
He
They said only
explained
2
to
people
you
died. No.
what.
They said
So
only.
let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
Based on the data presented by John. Now, I didn't. What is it?
He said the information for.
Wait. Hold on.
Moderna
I didn't finish your thought. I'm saying I didn't fact check you, John, like we did Donald Trump.
No,
wait. I didn't fact check John. I'm taking John's word at it, right?
Maybe we can get. You know what? Instead of us going back and forth, maybe we can ask our producers to see if they can get that.
Yeah, maybe you could get that article up. But what I'm saying is that the article stated that Johnson & Johnson is at the bottom of the list.
Why?
And they gave you the minuscule number. It doesn't matter why. The why is not important yet.
I want to see apples to apples. I want to see Moderna, and then Johnson & Johnson.
But my question to you, Dr. Brian, wouldn't by inference, right? By inference, it would say that the number is lower. So even if it's 2 or 3, wouldn't it be lower? Darren, I don't understand your question. Darren Curtin asked,
"What's up, D? What's up, D? What's going on?
Man? Are more people dying from vaccine or dying from COVID?" Oh, is that a sarcastic question? Yeah, I get it.
Exactly.
I get it. Now I get it. Right? And I guess that's a point that I have to ask Dr. Brian. Are there more people dying from the vaccine or dying from COVID? Are more people dying? Are more people who are dying unvaccinated or vaccinated? That's the majority of the question. So the efficacy of the vaccine or not. Are there more people dying, hospitalized, who are unvaccinated? or are there more people who are dying and hospitalized unvaccinated? Right.
Well,
Second of all, are the numbers even close?
Well,
Those questions are all factors.
But you know, it's so many different factors. It's a good friend of mine. I spoke to him, I think yesterday, and he was telling me that he was coming from a funeral of his partner that he served in the police force with. He was 41 years old, 4 kids,
Wow.
and he, got a cold, got sick, went in the hospital, discovered he had pneumonia, he had COVID. Eventually, he had to go on a ventilator. His kidney shut down, and eventually he passed away. But he was a staunch anti-vaxxer. Staunch anti-vaxxer. Would not take the vaccine at all. So you hear all these different stories. Some who did take, but we are better. What I'm saying is to the villagers, it's freedom of choice.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that you stand a better chance taking the vaccine and dealing with COVID than not taking the vaccine and then dealing with COVID. And to me, your chances, if you're betting in your odds are better if you are vaccinated as opposed to not being vaccinated.
Because again, yes,
because 20% of people who you have a 20%. What is it? 20%. Oh, those people who are on ventilators, there's only a 20% chance of them actually surviving.
So he's saying one out of 5 make it.
Mm-hmm.
So 4 out of 5 people go on a ventilator die.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I hear the conversation about the choice. I hear it.
That's my biggest problem.
But then Joanne, I hear the conversation about choice.
Mm-hmm.
But God forbid that conversation came down to the family. And then you have to make that ultimate choice.
Wait. What choice are you talking about?
Yeah.
About taking the vaccine or
the person chose because with their choice, they chose not to be vaccinated.
Okay.
And then you, as a family, have to make that choice for them.
Okay. That's not the choice I was referring to.
I get it. It's a choice to be vaccinated or not vaccinated.
That's not the choice I was referring to. I was referring to the vaccine. The big push behind the two that is more popular than the other one.
What two are you talking
about? Moderna and Pfizer versus Johnson and Johnson. That's my beef with them.
I don't understand what your beef is.
My beef is I want to be able to decide which one I want to take.
But they told you.
Listen.
I'm confused. You have already got the information that Moderna and Pfizer are more effective. The good news about Johnson & Johnson is only one shot.
Yes, the good news about that.
So for people like me who don't like who's sick and tired of needles, I took Johnson & Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
When I do my booster, I'm probably going to do Moderna.
Well,
that's what I'm going to do. I could be honest with you when I'm doing the booster.
One thing I do realize, a lot of people who went for boosters actually end up getting really, really sick.
Everybody gets sick, not just
from the booster.
Not everybody gets sick.
No. What I'm saying is everybody gets sick. One of the shots you might get sick. It depends on the immune system.
Yeah, no.
Some people get sicker than others.
I've been finding a lot of people who went out for the booster actually end up having several days that they require recovery. So that is concerning and alarming to me.
I found out something very interesting about the booster shot, teachers.
Okay, tell me.
So you get 2 days off. Right? You get 2 days off to take your booster shot.
No, after.
If you get 2.5 days off. So all I'm saying, wait, hold on. All I'm saying,
our kids suffer again.
Wait. All I'm saying is that for my birthday party, my teacher friends, I'm not telling you, but the booster can come the 26th of January.
Really?
Yeah, the booster can come the 26th of January, and you go back to work on Monday. because you're off Thursday and Friday.
Really?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Did you hear what I
of the
just said?
village, now you see the mindset of our educators.
I'm
Take the booster,
retired.
get 2 days off.
I'm retired. I'm retired.
Mm.
Speaking of that, though, in all seriousness, there's so many. I was saying it earlier, John, that, and you were saying that your daughter's school closed down, but there's I'm getting so many phone calls right now about the craziness of what's happening, and the fact that the response time to the schools to get back on the COVID cases
Yes.
is so long that
Yes.
by the
Yes.
time they respond to it, the virus has spread to a number of classes. I mean, I spoke to one school where the principal had to send off 70% of the students.
Wow. They're
Because
overwhelmed. They're
Huh?
overwhelmed. They're overwhelmed.
because my understanding is based upon how they're seated. If whoever's seated next to this person is supposed to have a seating chart. So, but if we're all in the cafeteria together, how in the physical education
there
gym
you
together?
have it.
How do you go outside on recess and go play? You're physically interacting. How does that going to fix the problem? So those are some issues out there. I know you can't comment on the subjects. You're just gonna have to nod your head, but John and I can talk about it, right? I would want to know as a parent. I want to know, immediate time frame, because you know what? In my house, I have a lot of people. So if in my house, if I have a lot of people, right, and somebody comes with COVID, right, and somebody comes with COVID in my house, and then we're all hanging out. I play dominoes. It's a domino effect, no pun intended. So I don't know. I don't like that system. What do you think? What do you think, John?
What I think is this: enough with COVID. We know what the impact is. Let's talk about my man Cuomo.
Wait, I want to
Before
go
we
back.
get to COVID, we want to talk about the censorship.
A lot of schools in Long Island are shutting down because of COVID.
Yeah, but not just Long Island. Press hold. No, wrong. Press hold. Yeah, that's it. And then press hold. Press the agree button now. Welcome to Village. You're live.
Hi, I have to go shortly, so I want to get my 2 cents in. Let me tell you something.
Let me get 3 cents in, not 2. Give me 3.
This whole COVID testing thing is BS. The way how they do it, they have what they call a situation room. Now, I will get an email from the situation room saying that somebody in my child's school or 7 person in the school tested positive for COVID, but they're not telling you who it is. Now, your child could be in the same classroom, but if the child who's tested positive sat in the back and your child sat in the front, they don't isolate your child. Your child can come back to school. But whoever was sitting in the back with that individual gets isolated. I think that's foolish.
Wait, I'm sorry. Say it again.
Let's say my daughter sits in the front. A child who sits in the middle or the back, that's 3 feet or more apart, sits behind her, beside her, tested positive. They don't consider that close contact because they said that they were far apart.
Right.
I don't understand that. How do you decipher that? Like my girlfriend, her kids are in charter schools. And yesterday her child got sent home because according to them, her child was sitting next to a child who tested positive. So they sent 7 of them home. But the others were still allowed to come to class. And DOE does that also. It makes no sense. So if your child is not within that immediate group that tests positive, you don't even know that there's a COVID case going on in the class because they're not telling you that your child class has a COVID case. They're just saying that there's a situation at the school. Now, I can give you a perfect example. I have a friend whose child tested positive on Saturday for COVID. Her other kids tested negative. One of her child wasn't there to get tested. So I said to her, take the child today to get tested. She took the child to get tested. The child is positive. But the school emailed her on Sunday to say, oh, there was a child in your class who tested positive. So how many other kids in that class has COVID? Now, what my friend did that was silly, when I'm mad at her, while her daughter was waiting for the results, she let her daughter get on the train and went to school. The positive child without getting the results first. So
Wow.
imagine how many kids she now go and interact with that has COVID now.
Yep. Correct.
That's
You understand?
wow. That is
My
foolish.
thing is, if one child tests positive in the class, because my daughter said they all stay in the class to eat, they have to pull on their mask. If one child tests positive, you don't know who has underlying issues, whose immune system, who going back home to grandma, this, that, who is sick, who taking back what home. Shut down the whole class for the 10 days and do remote. Don't isolate and say, oh, I feel this person has it, but this person doesn't have it. This person was in contact. This person wasn't in contact. You understand?
And I think that's going to cause a lot of problems as to why a lot of the schools, they might revert back. They might revert to remote learning because they're not.
Parents are not talking up enough about it. Parents complain amongst themselves, but they're not calling the administrators. They're not calling their superintendents. Half of them don't even know who their district superintendent is.
But remember,
they're not taking it
wait, Simone, are you saying what I've been saying for several months now, which is the most effective person in the school system is the parent?
I say that all the time.
Are you saying?
And that's why
it couldn't possibly be what I've been saying for.
I say that all the time, Daily.
No, because when I say, but when I say it, all of a sudden, I am a bad person.
No, but listen to the next situation, though. Listen to the next scenario. A parent might be home, who tested positive for COVID, right? Mm-hmm. The child in the house tests negative. The child goes to school. But that parent is a single parent and has no choice but to get up and go on the subway and take that child to school, even though that parent tests positive for COVID. So it's a whole lot of BS that's going on. Some people, their jobs, if they test positive for COVID, if they're not fortunate like us or in education to get the 2 weeks off, get it with pay, whatever. They have to actually use their days. And if they have no time, or if it's their second case of COVID, they now have to stay home without pay. So guess what? Some people lie on the screening, and once they're not showing any symptoms, guess what they do?
Go back to work. You need the money.
All right.
Because they don't want to shut down anything. And that's
exactly
the state right now. The
medical
government doesn't want to go back to
the medical field. Right. Tell you, in the medical field, correct me if I'm wrong. 3 days, you're not showing any symptoms until you come back to work. Because that happens at my girlfriend's hospital.
Yeah, during the time.
Am I wrong, Doc?
Yeah, no,
that's true.
No, right. Hold on. So from the educators' parents, not from the parents who don't want to take blame, i.e. John, from the educators, you understand that you are the most powerful person in the school system. And you're not even close to most powerful. You might not be the one getting paid.
Thank you.
Let's be clear. You're not the one getting paid. So if you're the one, you might be one of those parents who say, let them do their job.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I remind students, education is your job. You being a student, that is your job.
I try to get it out as much as I can to parents, even random parents. I'll see them and strike up a conversation, and I'll say it takes a village. If you know you can't go to PTA, try to find somebody that goes to PTA and said, please, can you just be the ears for me to let me know what's going on?
Yeah, but let me tell you, you know the problem with that, right? You want to hear the problem with that? Me don't want nobody in my business.
Oh, yeah, you're going to have the few necessary.
Not few, a lot, especially
you're gonna have some who
especially if you live in a Caribbean
community. And let's rephrase. No, I was gonna say not just Caribbean. Let me be more specific, because I'm a PTA parent, and I am embarrassed when I can count on one on the Black parents as a PTA, especially when you're child in a school that's non-Caribbean. It's all the other races that are there. I don't see my Black people, and I'm not talking Caribbean people. I'm talking about American born.
Oh no, I know that you. I know that you. I don't want to say that out loud because
I'm going to say it because
they think I'm joking. It's funny. and I guess it's kind of like I always bring up like the COVID conversation, right? And why I'm bringing it up is no matter what you do, and you put the data in front of somebody, you put the data there, and you tell them this factually, they're saying that this is not. I find the exceptions to the rule, and it's justifiable. What do you call it? Justifiable homicide, right? Why I'm not doing it?
But you know what?
No, it's not.
You know what though, Roderick? With them if we do, with them if we don't. On the other hand, you have to look at it in both ways, because what happened to the children who just can't learn remotely?
Oh no, I had that conversation
shut down the
this week
school
too.
again and go remotely. What happened to those students that absolutely cannot survive learning remotely?
For whatever the reasons are, right?
Because not all kids can learn remotely.
Remember, you also have to remember that from the education perspective, all parents do not have the capacity to educate their child, no matter what grade that child is.
Exactly.
Hold on. Let's see. Glennis, thank you, Glennis, for clearing it up for us.
Anyway, I'm going to go. It's time for Bible study. So you guys have a blessed one.
Thank you.
All right.
Praise
Thank you, Simone.
So I just want to read what. Could you please read what Glennis says?
No, you can read it, Mr. Sampson.
Let me read it. Mr. Sampson, that's me, referring to a study that came out today from CDC about Johnson & Johnson that 54 people came down with blood clots and 9 died. So they are recommending Pfizer and Moderna instead of Johnson & Johnson. I took the booster and had no side effects. My son was an anti-vaxxer, but after having COVID so bad, he changed his thinking and got the Moderna vaccine. As we say, I just dropped the mic.
No. The problem I have with this study is
Jesus.
that it only states that 9 people died from blood clot, but how many people died from Moderna and Pfizer? That information wasn't given. I have a problem with that. And I bet you they didn't collect it. So that's my problem with that.
They would have collected if there was any. They have to collect. How do you think they got the numbers?
How do you?
Let me tell you something.
Dr. Bryant, they had to collect CDC with
no.
not. That is being
What?
reckless.
Are you kidding me? No. CDC, no. A lot of the things CDC is doing is reckless.
Oh, gosh. We got Andre on the top too now. Oh, brother.
But then, here it is.
So, Doctor, what we do is this. We're going to call CDC.
We're
going to get that information.
Okay, here's another one. They didn't bring up or make a big stink about the fact that, hey, kids, the young kids from 5 to 11 are having heart inflammation problem.
Doc, where are your facts at that, Doc? Where are your facts?
Let me send it.
Doc, where are your facts?
Let me email it to you, okay?
Yeah, please email so we can put I need to have facts.
All
you
right.
Talk about one. You talk about 3 kids out of what? 15 million. I need facts.
Listen.
Wait, Doc,
Johnson and Johnson. Nah, man.
Doc,
man.
Andre's getting in it now.
Go on, Andre.
Andre's getting in it.
Hold
on. Doc. My question to you and
you heard
everybody
Doc said, nah, man. You heard Doc said, nah, man. I ain't going.
My question to you, Doc.
Okay.
My question to you is very simple.
What's that?
Is this the exception or the norm? Is this the exception? Now, we all agree that any life is of value. Just like you talk about your grandmother would have been 99, right? So every life is of value. But the question is it the exception or the norm? So is it the exception that people take the vaccine? Remember now, 54, 9 died. And
so
wait. Let me finish the thought. 54 people got the blood clots. Now, because Jamaican battle in the ear, right? So 54 people got blood clots. 9 died. 9. Not even on one hand. Right? Not even fully on 2 hands, I mean. Right? And the CDC brought up the number. 9. Wait. Listen again what I'm saying. Listen carefully what I'm saying.
I'm listening.
9 people died. And they recommend the Moderna and the Pfizer. And only 9 people died. And again, I'm not minimizing death. Because if you're one of those persons who lost that loved one from the blood clot, right? It's not only 9. It's my 100%. Right?
Yeah, you know what, lady?
Am I clear? So let's not be. So let's no. I'm just saying, John, that for and then because we also have to move on to other subjects.
Well,
but
I just want to say, Doctor,
that's what I'm saying.
Listen.
It's not that I stand corrected. Audrey just gave us some facts. There were, eight kids, according to the CDC, had heart inflammation. Yeah, but you know what? Hold on.
You have to be critical on
that. It's not that we're not critical.
It's not. You know what?
All we're doing is educating. What is DDI? Hold on. I got a question, John. I got a question for the 2 educators. What is DDI?
Who knows what?
No, the 2 educators. You're not gonna answer that question. What is DDI?
Listen.
Do you know? Okay, DDI is how you teach a class.
Right.
It's called data-driven instruction. That's what it's called. So I have 33 students in my class. I took a test. I gave a test, not I took. I gave a test. 20 students, 30. How many did I say? 33?
33.
33. 18 students passed the test. 27 students passed the test. Because you have to have, in general, you want 100% pass rate. Right? But if you take a test and 30 students pass, 18 students pass, 10 students pass, you begin to look at your instruction. When if it's 3 kids that passed, you look at why those 3 students failed, but you might not look at how you gave the instruction. Because it's only 3. But if 18 students failed that test, you now begin to look at what happened with instruction. So when you do data, so yes, there are still students failing, but at some point, you know that 100% of the students are not going to pass.
Okay.
So the fact of the matter is not that any teacher wants any student to fail. So you cannot equate a data that is not representative of the masses and use that to generalize that I need to redo my whole lesson plan. Right?
We're getting some more facts.
Go ahead.
Okay. There's more recovery rates than deaths. Do we care about deaths then?
What?
There's like way more recovery rates.
Of course they have more recovery.
So do we care about the deaths then?
What do you mean if we care about the deaths? That's not the point of what we're saying.
I think
no matter on any at the vaccine level,
Roger,
more people have survived.
Mr. Daly, I think we covered this pretty thoroughly. But I think we should move on to something
I agree.
That's far more important, and that is Cuomo got to give back $5.1 million.
Wait, can we talk
No. Let's talk about Cuomo got to give about $5.1 million
for the book.
He has to give it back.
That's wrong.
Well, unfortunately,
Poor Cuomo.
he's going to be broke.
I don't know if he's going to be broke, but he still has $18 million he's sitting on his campaign fund. So I don't know about him being broke.
But can he spend that money though?
But the whole point is,
can he spend that money?
But the whole point is, using government resources to enrich yourself
is wrong.
Equates to not pay back the $5.1 million. It equates to an indictment from the U.S. attorney because you are using state resources to enrich yourself. And you know how many people went to prison for that? So this is always 2 measures of justice.
Also on that note,
I just want to throw that. want to throw that out there.
And also throw in my girl, man. I'm upset with that too.
Well, we understand that, but you know what?
It's
not over. Right? Yes, it's not over. So we give our praises to her. and she
Who
will.
is
One of
that?
our mutual friends.
One of our mutual friends. She will. At the end of the day, God got her. So we wish her
That's
nothing
what,
but the
yeah,
best.
But
But that's my whole point. That's my whole point. And this is about the whole criminal justice system. On one point, a person who uses state resources to enrich themselves, there's no indictment, but someone who gets no money and they try to indicate one thing or another, gets indicted and got to go through the whole rigmarole.
I got
But
convicted. I just read that she got convicted. Yeah.
But the whole point is just the unbalance that exists in our criminal justice system. And now Cuomo has to give back that money. Let's see if there's anything else after that. But it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate, and
I just had to put up Darren's comment.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
that's why we all need to get vaccinated. You're
That-
right, D.
That's I just need to put that up. All right, yeah.
But I
Anyway, so
understand
going
that,
back to what we were going on about the state.
Getting back to that,
Uh-huh.
Cuomo was able to write that book because based upon his leadership during this period of time. But at the same time, Alika, what's up, Alika? So
All
happy to hear
right,
that
it's great to see
you're
you.
talking about teaching literacy in
Why
our
do I
public
know that
schools
name?
and the
Because
school.
that was one of our guests. Thank you
Yeah.
so
Oh,
much.
hey, Akila. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, yes,
We were just talking about you, by the way.
yes, we were.
Andre and I were just talking about. Want to know when you're coming back on? Let us
And
know.
also, what we need to fix is that special education.
Yeah, that's what
We
she's
need to
talking about.
fix special education in the public school systems. That needs to be fixed.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, we're going to talk about a couple of those things.
What I think about Adam Silver.
Wait, let's do them. No, I'm saying let's do them in order.
Go back to
No, hold on, wait.
You're right. I don't want to talk over you, Mr.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
I'm saying let's do them in order. But we got to get Andre. So your job is to put us on a strict timer today.
I've been doing that.
No, you haven't. No, you haven't. You're just alluding to the fact that we're talking about a topic for a long time.
So much.
Right. So Akila, so I have to. All right. Akila, we want to reach out to you. Andre will reach out to you. I'll reach out to Andre. Follow up. All right.
All right, we ready. We ready,
All right,
baby.
we're ready because we do have some special topics that we want to talk about. So let's go in order, and we're gonna go. So Andre, what is it? Education and the commissioners, right? So speaking of which, in 2023, approximately 800 New Yorkers will be able to vote, and they are non-citizens of New York. They can only vote in municipality election, meaning city election. They cannot vote in state and they cannot vote in federal. But it changes how many people can vote by more than 10%. There's a 10%, I'm sorry, more than 1%. Because I believe that there are 10 million people in New York. Right? I don't know how many people voted last major election in April. I think it was about 3 or 4 million. So if 800,000 people were able to exercise that right, because you could be a non-citizen, just what it is a legal non-citizen in New York. What do you guys thought?
Go ahead,
That's
Dr.
gonna be
Wright.
very problematic.
What would be problematic?
Because here it is, they feel they can vote in the city election. Then when it comes to other functions, they're gonna have problem. What's the sense? Just to vote for the mayor, city council, and everything else. If you're gonna start something, and there's gonna be pushback. What are the legalities that's attached to this as well?
If I can jump in, I think this is a political football. You have to be very careful what you ask for. This could be reaped with manipulation by both sides, by Democrats and Republicans. And this could be a setup for failure. What we should be concentrating on is we need to concentrate on providing our immigration department the resources they need so they can start moving some of these applications a lot faster than what is going on. This is where we need to spend the money. This is where that needs to be boosted in order for those individuals who are here legitimately, who possess green cards should be able to become citizens.
Right.
So this is another way to push the can down the road instead of dealing with the big issue. And
Right.
the big issue is changing the immigration laws
Mm-hmm.
and providing the resources that the Department of Immigration needs in order to deal with the abundancy of applications that they face. This is what it comes to. You're just kicking the can down the road. You're creating a problem because there are those who are going to manipulate this. Now
Right.
we're going to have elections. Now, oh, are you a citizen? You're not a citizen. So this is giving fodder. This is giving ammunition for states like Georgia,
Florida,
those Floridas, those red states
Pennsylvania,
to continue to implement
new
these
laws.
new laws.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that it's a move in the right direction.
Nope.
I think that I don't want it solely to be like you both are saying.
Mm-hmm.
But I think giving people the right to vote is a very essential situation. But I don't think that it should be extended to all non-legal citizens. I don't think so.
It's gonna be tying the courthouse because they already said it's illegal. So now we're gonna spend money to go and say, hey, it is illegal because here it is. They don't have all documentation or whatever. So it's a waste of time.
No, what I'm saying is that whatever the fight is, I think that if this is your permanent residence,
Why can't
this
we,
is your home.
But why can't we concentrate on those? If we're going to the non-citizens, instead of saying open and broadening up, those individuals who are here legally, who have green cards,
Right?
Let's give them the opportunity. But what
I'm saying,
they
I
need
agree
to be
with that.
more specific,
And
because in general,
and they have to show too, John, that they're moving towards citizenship.
Exactly.
So if you're in the process of citizenship, and you can legally prove that, then
you're working, you're paying your taxes, you're contributing to society.
Then that's a little bit different. But I don't think it should be given to all non-citizens. Because if you have a working visa, you're able to do it. If you're here with this, blah blah blah. A student.
That's a setup for failure,
right? Because that student.
And yet, also, there's a residency. You've been living in the state for a certain period of time.
Yeah. I don't believe that it should be a blanket.
Because
what I think John, that I think the Democrats feel, the progressive Democrats feel that they will get more votes. That's what.
Here's the problem with that. This is similar to
I hate chemo day, makes my nose run.
This is similar to the people who actually get arrested.
What do you mean?
The bail. If they don't have bail money, they release them within a certain amount of time. This is the debacle that they're creating again. Yes, they do.
You mean the bail reform? That's what you're talking about, Doc?
Yes.
The bail reform issue.
It's a mess.
That was a mess. That's a mess. Yes.
This is similar to that because you just say, hey, everyone who can't afford it, you put everyone in a box and say they can't afford it. And all criminals are being released and they're going back and doing the same thing over and over again.
Wait, what was it? I think I sent you, but we can't play it, right? It has curses on it, right? So we can't play that. I sent you the clip from the YouTube from my friend who's in PD about what's going on in terms of letting all the Bloods out and the rapper. I don't remember if he has curses on it, but if he does, we can. All right, double check to see if it is. No, because it's going back to what you're talking about with the bail reform and just letting anybody in the street, and a lot of gang people are waiting for their
retaliation.
No, not retaliation. Their membership to return to the streets and increase that number, because hey, I'm coming out, so I could do small things and come back out, cause a problem.
Right, and here's the thing: we're complaining that there's an increase in crime, but then we create a law. We create some changes that there's no next step. Yes, everybody can't afford blah 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 blah, but not everybody is in the same boat. And the problem is, what is the next step? Yes, you release them, but how are you tracking it? How are you making sure?
I wanted to add something to that.
Go ahead.
And we have deviated a little bit. Right? I'm like ultra conservative when it comes to that. Right? And that is saying that stop committing these crimes that cause you to get arrested,
right,
and expect utter leniency.
I agree.
Right? So that's what I'm saying. I'm not even like there are crimes that are committed, right? That sometimes you commit a crime and you don't really know you're committing a crime. To be very honest with you, that happens. But you can't tell me that hijacking a car, you don't know you're hijacking a car.
Wait, can you give me an example of a crime that you're committing that you don't know that in a crime?
Okay, so I work for a company. The company's downsized and they gave me a computer. I
you have to return it.
No, they gave me the computer. The company gives me the computer. Right?
During the time you're working, right? During the time you're working for them, right?
No, the company is downsizing. They're closing. They did this. And they're giving you the furniture. Right? And you take the furniture. But it's worth a certain value and you didn't know it was worth the value. And you end up it's a crime because you're getting what is it called? In-kind benefits. That's tax you're supposed to show. And you didn't know that. So you have committed a crime that you didn't know. Did you know that if you take a staple from work, you're not supposed to take it from work? That's actually a crime, even if it was given to you, because you're not supposed to take it. It was bought for that workplace. So a lot of people, that's what I'm saying. Like you might not know that you were committing a crime. If you go to a conference, like the company pays for you to go to a conference, you're not supposed to buy alcohol when you go. But you might put that on the bill. Alcohol is not something that a conference is not supposed to sponsor alcohol for you. So, right? So there's certain things, and you don't know that, right? So depending on which lawyer or judge or what kind of stick or something the lawyer stick has for you, they might go at you because it's still a crime. You might look at it and say, yo, why are you going at me like that? But that person, it's the law, and they know the law. Just like we're talking about Kyle Rittenhouse, where it was actually self-defense, even though he had a gun. But a lot of people are like, yo, but he had a gun. It was damn self-defense. Versus that stupid woman in the Jamaican woman who gave the person the 2 stabs a couple of years ago and I didn't mean to kill him. I only gave him 2 stabs, but he's not my mother, my father. Put my hand on him and she stabbed him and killed him. Right? You got to know what the law is, but sometimes you don't know. Right? So because I see John with a gun and I go over there and attack John, I'm wrong. So John shoots me and I want to charge him with attempted murder. No, it's not. Right?
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a hypothetical.
Yeah, right? You get what I'm saying? So you can, but I'm talking about people who like go out, they stand on the street corner and sell drugs. And then when they get they're arrested, like, why you bother me for? I'm just doing my deed. Right? Now, again, it might be overboard, depending on who the prosecutor is. You might get that overzealous prosecutor who want to become the next DA and want to push, oh, if you're smoking a weed, you need to go to jail. You might get that overzealous prosecutor. So going back to what you're saying, and what we're all saying, is that be careful what you ask for.
We have a nightmare right now that can't be fixed.
Oh, did you hear what the damn mayor said?
Who?
That
your mayor, your friend?
Yeah, well, he's a friend of mine. He's. I'm going to reserve my thought on that because he didn't make it to the village. So, all right, he didn't make it to the village and he lied to me, and I don't appreciate that. When somebody lies to me, I take it very personal.
Okay.
If you told me personally, give this person a call because I'm coming on the show, and then the person's like giving me all of these. Remember, I actually announced that he was coming. You remember that?
Yes,
He was
which you
coming in the
shouldn't
next year, and he didn't show up. His
Yes.
office didn't call to say he wasn't
We
coming.
tell you all the time, don't do that.
Yeah,
Don't do
you know,
that.
and Andre always yell at me about that.
Yes, don't do
But
that.
anyway, he talked about the crime went down, and then he found out that gun violence went up, what, 94%.
The crime went down where?
Here's my question to everybody, and Andre, put it out there. Do you feel safer now than you did 8 years ago? John?
No.
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 I am going to say absolutely not.
I wouldn't get on a train. I'm not getting
Not
on
that
a
I
train.
wouldn't get on the train, but I would be very.
I would not.
I'd be a lot more heightened alert
Mm,
if I got on the train.
I won't do it.
Right. Right. That's how I feel. I don't feel safer. Rape.
No.
Look at all the people. They're beating up delivery guys. They're doing this.
You know, I passed next to where that young man got shot
Which one?
today. The deli worker who got
from
shot.
Flatbush.
Yes.
Mhm.
And it was heartbreaking to see that, hey, they have a cop station right in front, a cop car station right in front, you know, all of the candles, and he got killed for what reason? He was supposed to get married.
When was this? I didn't know anything about that.
This was yesterday. He got murdered yesterday, a deli worker.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
20 years old, about to get married, and here it is. He get killed because someone want to rob. Like today, I went to the supermarket and I'm picking up some avocado, and I'm looking at this guy.
We're Jamaicans. We don't know what avocado is. What's avocado?
You know what avocado
No, I
is.
don't. What is avocado?
The green thing. The
We call it
avocado.
pear.
Okay, we don't call that pear.
We call it avocado.
Yes,
We call it pear.
exactly. No,
We're
pear is
Jamaican,
pear. Pear is pear, and avocado is avocado.
Are you trying to say something wrong with my Jamaican culture?
Yes, you guys.
Oh,
Yes,
ouch. All right. So you went to get a pear and
I went to go and get avocado,
a pear,
and I'm watching this guy, and he grab a box. He decided, hey, you know what? I'm gonna just open it up and just shove it in my pocket. And I'm like, man, I understand a tough time, but really?
Open a box of what? Avocado?
No, it was, what is that? The sweet buns that the kids eat
I don't know.
with the glaze on top of it. Oh my gosh, I can't
It's
even
called a
remember.
cinnamon bun.
There you go, one of
Or honey
those.
bun.
The
Which
honey
one?
bun, that's the one. The honey
Okay.
bun with the extra icing glaze. And I'm like, you're stealing this? Are you serious? Please.
Well,
But to kill
you
somebody,
know, the funny thing about, once you're a thief, you're a thief. Once you're a liar, you're a liar.
the
No matter what it is, you lie just for nothing. And
yeah,
you think
so
people
if
don't know
somebody
you're lying.
if somebody approach him, and then guess what? To kill over a honey bun or to kill over a sandwich, that's what they kill the guy over.
Listen, I had a teacher who got in trouble
Mhm.
for Snicker bar.
Really?
Stealing a Snicker bar?
No, he didn't steal the Snicker bar. He got in trouble over a Snicker bar. He went into the classroom to say to the student, please return the kid's Snicker bar. The kid said, I didn't steal the Snicker bar. And everybody in the class knew he stole the Snicker bar. So he started to fight the teacher over a Snicker bar. And it escalated. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Over Snicker bar. So you're talking about a honey bun, a Snicker bar. You get what I'm. So once you're a thief or a liar, it is what it is. And you always think that people don't know it's you. It's the hardest thing to repent in people's eyes from being a liar and a thief.
Mm,
Those are the two things that's hard to repent from.
mm,
Everything else, you work through it. But, because people just lie for nothing. But anyway, so you're talking about the can of worm with the 800,000 prospective new voters as of 23.
that's a mess.
All right. And that's what I'm saying, John. And why is it that they have not provided at the federal level amnesty for people who have been in the country so they could move for citizen. Like you can't even afford to get your citizenship nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
And so many people they think that what they think they're gonna get a discounted price.
Mm.
It's not gonna go down. What is it now? Like I think it was like 900 or 1700
What?
before you get your citizenship.
Well, you know.
Back in 1992, it was $25.
Mm.
Right in 2000 was $2,000.
Mm.
Don't know.
So it has raised more than 600% in 20 years. I wish I had a job that paid me 600% increase in 20 years now. As a matter of fact, I wish I had a job that paid me 100% increase in. Have you had one of those jobs, John? 100% increase? Like they just doubled your salary every year for 20 years?
That would be nice.
Oh, I'm just saying. So I love when when you pay rent and your landlord raises your rent 20%.
Mm.
Oh, that reminds me, and I'm only interrupting myself because I'm getting very forgetful, John.
Really?
Yeah, man. I don't know if it's the chemo. I'm actually serious.
Really?
I don't know if it's the chemo or the blood pressure, or whatever. But I'm getting very forgetful. So now that I remember this right away,
Mm-hmm.
Andre, type this in: New York homeownerfund.org. New York homeownerfund.org. This is a website. If you own a home, you can go to this website and they're giving grants and low interest loans to help you if you're having difficulty paying your mortgage or paying your bills.
Right.
So what did I say?
New York.
NY
Mm-hmm.
homeownerfund.org. I was Senator Zelno Amiri
Right.
came on last night to talk about that. Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're having issues with your monies, not just the mortgage, but bills and other situation. So, final thought on this before we move on to the next chapter. What would you say is the benefit? I hear the disadvantage, but what is the benefit of having an additional 800,000 people?
I don't know.
You know what the benefit is.
You don't think there's a benefit
to have that?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a cause for confusion. Period. I don't think it's
you know what I think? I think of the 800,000 people, I think less than 200,000 will vote. That's just my personal. That's just my personal thought.
I think
less than 200,000.
If they vote here and their state is not offering the same thing, they decide to move.
What are you talking about? If their state,
if they vote in New York and they decide to move to another state, same policy is not happening. This is just a New York thing.
Well, I understand, but they have to show residency in New York, though.
Listen, this is going to be a mess. I don't understand why they decided to do this now. They need to focus
you're definitely, you don't see an advantage to it. John, you see an advantage?
No, I just see it creating more confusion.
Yes.
And really corroborating what those red states are trying to do in really eliminating voting rights.
So one major reason why I don't see any positive to it is that it's not going to change the makeup of the city council. The city council is still going to be overwhelmingly Democratic. New York City Council will never be Republican. It might change who gets elected. Where do most where do most non-citizen immigrant live? They live in two boroughs. Not that they don't live in all the other boroughs,
Brooklyn
but they live in two: Brooklyn and the Bronx.
The Bronx.
Yeah, Brooklyn and the Bronx.
Why not Queens?
Right. You have the Caribbean. You have the Spanish. Right. There are parts like of Queens that have like the Indian, the Pakistani, but the overwhelming majority of non-documented people live in Brooklyn and the Bronx. So I don't remember. There's one part of Brooklyn which is deep South Brooklyn, Dyker Heights, Bay Ridge that will sometimes, if you're Democrat or Republican, you might get in. Like right now, the current congressperson is a Republican. I think the senator over there too is Republican too, right? Because Ed Gentili lost
yeah.
as a senator. Golden was a senator for a long time.
No, there's a Democrat.
Who's it now? Oh, Diane Savino.
No, Andre Gunaris.
Yeah, okay. And Diane Savino is also a Democrat who's also covering that part. And then in Queens, and then you normally have a Republican. One Republican council member comes from Staten Island, which is South Staten Island, Midland, and South. Mm-hmm. North is Debbie Rose. I don't know who is the new person, but it's probably a Democrat anyway. And then in Queens, we're in Peter Koo's district. I don't know who's been elected, but he was a Republican coming out of Queens. So there were 4 out of 51 city council people a couple of years ago that were Democrat. I don't know how many is coming out of this one right now. What is going to be the change? And it's not being pushed by Republicans. It's been pushed by Democrats. So right. What effect? It has no national effect.
Yeah, it's a waste of time.
It's a waste of time, right?
And money, because it's going to go to court. The Republicans are going to say, hey, this is illegal. Let's go to court.
But they won't win because it's a city mandate. It's not a state mandate. But
it still has to get approved by the mayor, correct?
The mayor did approve it.
No.
Right. He's trying to do a lot of things in the last 2 weeks of office.
I know. He needs to chill. Stop.
Right.
Relax.
Right.
Just
like John said, 100%, John, spend the money, spend the time, get some amnesty, move people towards citizenship, because it has a larger effect on the national scope. Speaking of which, Florida has now fully outnumbered Democrats and Republicans for the first time in registration to vote. So there are more people registered to vote in Florida as Republican for the first time in a long time than they are Democrats. So that's very interesting. That's a big thing. Because Florida and Texas together have about 68 electoral votes. So those 2 states are huge when it comes to electoral Congress. The California and New York are the 2 for the Democrats. California's like 55, and New York is 28 now. Mm-hmm. Right, so it's at 55 to 28. That's 83. Mm-hmm. But then the problem is that you have more Republican states. You have 32 states that are Republican. Mm-hmm. So you have more so now you're going in with all of the Midwest, Florida, and Texas. So now the Republicans now can automatically have, I have to look at the electoral map, but they automatically have Florida now, and they automatically have Texas. So that's 65 electoral votes. They have Alabama, Tennessee, Louisiana, help me out here, Louisiana, Utah, Wyoming, North and South Dakota. Tell me some states I'm missing. South Carolina. I'm missing some states. Idaho,
Missouri.
So when you look at all of the states in the Midwest, the Midwest, Central, not. So the Democrats automatically have Washington, Oregon. Arizona is a toss-up, and they have the eastern states from Virginia, from Maryland up. So it's really nothing, because not that it's not nothing. I don't mean it like that. Remember, Michigan is now a battleground state. Wisconsin is a battleground state. They usually were very Democratic. Mm-hmm. Now they're not. Illinois, Indiana. Oh yeah, they also have Indiana, Ohio. Indiana and Ohio about 30 electoral votes. So right there you have over 100.
Mhm.
So right away the Republicans just need to win. Now just basically need to win 2 battleground states to become president.
Mhm.
So if they win Pennsylvania and Michigan, they're in. If they win Pennsylvania, Virginia, they're in. Then whatever. So the Democrats need to look at states like Arizona, states that are on the coast that immigrants go to. Right. So if you look at those states, it could help you out. So they better start working their tushy off.
Right.
Virginia is one. Arizona is another. Nevada.
Mhm.
Those 3 states,
Mhm.
if they can get the undocumented, not the undocumented, the non-citizens to become citizens, it would be very effective in terms of getting them done. So you're right. Let's focus on getting a national scope where it can really have a true effect, because he has no real effect in New York.
Correct.
It's not like they don't have any rights. They can have driver's license, they can have this, they can have that.
Yeah,
Right.
but beyond that, it's pointless.
All right. So I mean, they already have those rights.
No, I know that, but I'm talking about, hey, you're doing this, but it's gonna cause more confusion. Anyway, let's move on.
Wait, by the way, let me go back to the question about you talk about the sandwich.
Yeah,
Or
the
is
young
that
man
Caton?
who
It's
got
that
killed.
Caton Avenue, Flatbush and Caton.
Yeah, the young man got killed after giving him a free sandwich. The suspect a free sandwich. He get murdered after doing,
You know. Here's my
crazy.
question, and I always ask this question. The news always talks about the worst part,
Mhm.
right?
Well,
Because
murder
that's
him.
what we want to
The
talk.
guy
I'm not
died.
excusing the murder. Don't get me wrong with what I'm saying.
Okay.
My question is,
Mhm.
what happened? Not. It sounds bad when you ask the question. It sounds like I'm trying to defend.
Nothing happened. You know
It,
what? It doesn't
so
matter.
you're saying that
The man is dead. There's
Mm.
nothing that could support.
and that's what you see. That's part of the problem. That's part of the problem sometimes when we just blankly say the outcome is that all that matters. And
Well,
we're not,
there's
and
no
again, I'm going
life.
back, wait,
The
I'm going
person
back,
is dead.
I'm not minimizing the person's life.
Okay.
That's not what I'm doing.
Mhm.
And if that's what it sounds like, my audience out there, that's not nowhere near what I am doing.
Right.
Nobody's life needs to be taken.
Mhm.
Right.
My thing is, sometimes we say and do things, and then we leave out everything that transpired
Mhm.
up to this moment.
Yep. True.
So, like it, just like in the Kyle Rittenhouse case, and I bring that up. We all are upset that he killed 2 people, shot 4 and killed 2.
Right.
But then he got off for murder. Why did he get off for murder? Because it was self-defense.
Mhm.
Okay.
So we ultimately say, but he killed 2 people and he had a gun and he shouldn't have been there. But it was still self-defense.
Mhm.
So do you think this young man?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just simply saying what happened. Because now you could come out in the news. Why do you think there's so many limited amount of cops, right? On an independent review board, their cases have been dismissed. The overwhelming majority of police officers in cases have been dismissed. Why?
Why?
Because generally speaking, the person who they feel that the cop is doing something don't know the law.
Mhm.
Prime example, as sad and as horrible, as terrible as it was, Eric Garner.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because what Eric Garner was doing was illegal. Now, did it warrant the cops' behavior?
No.
I
No.
don't think so.
Mm-mm.
But but why you think nobody, what is it, 5 or 7 years later, they didn't charge anybody for anything? Why? Because he was in the wrong. I was having a conversation that said, I'd rather be alive right than dead wrong.
Mhm.
Alive right than dead wrong. I figured out later. But I can't figure out nothing while I'm dead. I've never met a dead man who came back and told me what it was like to be dead. Have you?
Mm.
So again, not excusing his death.
Mhm.
It is a horrible thing to see a 20-year-old man getting killed at his workplace
After you gave
Right.
it down.
after you gave a free sandwich.
Right.
But what happened?
I don't
That's
know.
all my question is.
I don't know. I wasn't there. And
Right.
we will never know the exact information for that.
I don't know. I don't know.
Unless there's a video of exactly what transpired.
There was somebody sent me something, and I'm trying to remember it. I want to see who sent me. One of my friends sent me something.
And they're saying that the suspect was a regular at the bodega.
Yeah. So it might be an ignorant person. Maybe the
owner.
person felt. I mean, it doesn't okay it, right? It doesn't okay it. Like somebody sent me a video of this black student, whether it was stage or real, and the black student punched out his professor.
Wow.
Everybody gasped. Why did he punch out the professor? Is probably the question you need to ask me.
Why?
The professor was teaching African history, which I don't agree with him. He said he was saying to the professor that you cannot teach me African history.
Why? Because the professor was white?
Yes, which I don't agree with. I think anybody can teach you African history because you're not even going to learn from. Some of you don't even learn from your own black people anyway.
That's true.
Right? So somebody has to teach you.
And you don't know if the professor was of another. He could have been African.
Well, he could be, but in his mind, because the teacher was white, he couldn't teach in African history.
No, that's
Right.
ignorant.
But it's a study. But however, in the video, whether it was, like I said, whether it was staged or not staged, the professor made some comments that were disrespectful.
Oh, okay.
Right. He said he called him ghetto. He called him monkey.
Oh.
So then the black guy now got up and punched the professor in the face and knocked him out. Now, notice what I you saw how I led that with? The black student got up and punched the white teacher, and both of you gasped because you couldn't believe it.
Right.
Right? Now you hear the story. I'm like, I would have knocked him out too. Now the black kid is going to jail because
I wouldn't knock him out.
Well, not you. You wouldn't do anything but say, okay. Right? We're not talking about you. We know you already.
Really?
Kumbaya, man. Right?
Really?
You would have said something, you'd have put up your hand and in Creole, you would have put up something and say, I curse you. The voodoo god is on you for the rest of your life.
No, that's a lie. That's a lie. I don't.
That's not what you should have said. That's not what you just said. You should have said, why are you stereotyping?
That's a lie because that's not me. I don't believe in no.
But you're no fun, man.
First of all, take it back.
Take what back?
Take everything you just said back.
Which one?
I don't believe in the whole voodoo thing.
You don't believe in voodoo?
No, I don't.
I agree with you. I don't believe in that crap either.
Yeah, so I
don't believe in voodoo. I don't believe in phobia, and I don't believe in
I
ghosts.
believe in God, and that's it.
As you know what? As funny as it sounds, right? I'm gonna make a statement, and a lot of people are gonna disagree with me.
Because that is a stereotype. They think automatically every Haitian person or every African believe in witchcraft and all that. That is not true.
I'm gonna say something on this. On this.
Be careful.
Oh no, I am gonna say it.
Your mouth is reckless.
Yeah, I know. You know that believing in God and jumping in spirit is also can be considered a type of voodoo and witchcraft. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Because you're saying, right? You're saying that some spirit can cure you of something. What does voodoo believe in?
Listen, I didn't study voodoo, and I don't want
to. No. I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying. Now, in my mind, believing in God is not right. You should not. It should not be compared.
It's not the same,
right? In my mind, and in everybody in this room's mind. But the person who compares voodoo and believe in voodoo,
right,
will view our belief
Mm.
as the same.
Interesting.
I make a comment all the time. The same thing that is good is the
Can be
same
used.
thing that is bad,
Of course, you can
Good for
use
the
it
goose
whatever
is good
way.
for the gander.
right? That's just the point,
Mhm.
right? But in all seriousness, what would you do if that happened if you're in class?
If I'm in class, what?
And I just explained the story. Personally,
Well,
I would I
record
would
it.
walk out. I would
I
walk
would
out and
record
report
it.
that person.
I would record it, and then I would record it and then report it. Record and then report.
Illegal. Illegal.
Why is it illegal?
Because New York is it. You
I
have
might
to.
not
The
be
other
in New
person
York.
has
I
to
might
know.
not have been in New York. There you go.
We're talking about New York now. We're not talking about any other state, are we?
Did it
No,
happen
Let me
in
know.
New
Let's
Is
York?
talk
that
about
the
New York.
truth?
Let's talk
Did it
about
Talking
New
happen
York.
about New
in New
York?
York?
Are we talking about New York? Or are we talking about another
Well,
state?
I would live stream it. I would live stream it
Please do.
nowadays. What happened?
Please live stream it.
Yeah.
Because I want to see what you do in the live stream. What else is what else is happening, John?
Haiti.
that-
Let's talk about Haiti.
What's going on in Haiti, Doc? Why don't you update us?
Unfortunately, this week they had the fuel explosion. This week where a tanker exploded, and I want to get the exact amount of individuals that died. And
I think it was like 65 or something like that.
Mm.
it was 71
71. Okay.
Wow.
dead after the gas tanker exploded in the
Wow.
Haiti's second largest city,
Amazing. Amazing.
Which
amazing.
is
Cap Haitien.
Cap
Or
Haitien?
Yep,
What does that mean translate to in English?
Cape Haitian.
Cape Haitian?
Cape
Okay.
Haiti. Yeah.
Cape Haiti.
So they said that after the fuel tank exploded, it stopped due to mechanical issues and began leaking gas. People gathered to collect fuels directly from the trunk when the explosion occurred.
Oh, so
Ladies
they're
and
my
gentlemen,
teeth.
here's the thing.
So they're my teeth.
When there is fuel to
You know,
leak
you see how I should bypass that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So wait. So wait. So
fuel
you
that
tell
is
me,
leaking.
wait. You're telling me that the gas tank was the truck was leaking gas. And
Yes.
people came over to steal the gas, and the gas tank exploded, and they died.
Well, that's the ones that were stealing.
Why don't you tell the whole story?
The ones that were stealing that died. But the ones who were close by, who had nothing, who were innocent and had nothing to do with it, guess what? They died too.
It's very sad. But you know what? When you think about it, when you really think about it, look at the situation that people are in
Yeah.
and the poverty.
It's been a roller coaster from the assassination of the president to the earthquake.
What's President Moïse Jovenel?
Yes.
Mhm.
To the
Have they gotten a
earthquake.
new president yet?
No. They
So
don't.
still the other guy who was sworn in as the prime minister is still the leader?
Prime Minister Ariel Henry.
Mhm.
So from the assassination to the earthquake to the gang, those people were released today.
But they released
They were
12 people.
released.
Yeah, 12 people.
They were
Yeah, 12
released.
people
All
were
right.
released,
All
yeah.
right. All right. Slowly but surely.
So from the gang to now the explosion and how many people are dead.
Haiti
So
has historically been hit hard.
Mhm.
yeah, constantly.
You know, I saw something in Jamaica, Joanne.
Stepchild of the Caribbean, crazy.
I saw something in Jamaica, and I want to know if that's the same thing since we're talking about the gas tank. And may God rest each and every one of their souls out there. The families, hopefully, they're able to bury their dead and have give them a proper send off.
They're asking for blood donations, which unfortunately,
asking for what donation?
Blood donation.
Okay, so a lot of people are still hospitalized.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask you a question about the gas tank,
Mm-hmm.
because you're talking about the gas in Jamaica. Like in America, they actually come to you. Your gas is connected to your house, whatever the case is. In Jamaica, you have to have a gas tank,
Right.
And then you have to buy gas every so often because there's no direct. Most homes don't have direct lines of gas. Is that the same thing in Haiti?
I don't know.
You fill up your tank and then you bring home.
That's a good question. Let me find out. I don't know.
Because like people have these weird stove and stuff like that to cook. I mean, they could have a good stove, but the gas is just not readily available. So that could be part of the reason why people are taking the gas. Because in America, it doesn't make a difference. If a gas tank is right in front of you leaking, it makes no difference. Because what are you going to do with the gas?
Well, they have cars. Remember that too.
No, but again, what are you going to do with? So in other words, for them to be able to be collecting gas,
Mm-hmm.
like of the four of us here, all the four of us drive. How many of us actually have a gas tank, something in our cars to collect gas if you happen to walk on the street? I don't have one.
I don't have one either.
You don't have one, Andre? You don't have one, right? Or do you? Like a gas tank, like in case you're short on gas. Do you have one of those? Do you have one of those?
I had one. I don't know where it is.
But you currently don't have one in your car.
No.
So in order for that to happen to so many people, you're talking about 65 people.
Yes. Mhm.
71.
Right. No, not the amount of people are actually getting gas.
Right.
Right.
Mhm.
71 died. We don't know how many. That means that it was readily available.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. If you're driving on Utica Avenue and a gas tank is leaking gas, it's not readily available. So
Yeah.
most people will have to go buy something, go do this, or not do anything. So that means that there is an issue when you look at gas and the availability of it for somebody to go through those lengths. That's where the question is coming from.
And we know that if gas is leaking, run, get far away from it. We know that.
Yeah.
Yes, because then if any sparks it will cause some
Right.
issues.
So
Oh, Derek Chauvin pleads guilty in federal court to violating George Floyd's civil rights. What's about that? Anybody hear about that, Doc?
I did hear about that.
What's going on with that?
Yesterday. He pleaded guilty for that one, and there's a federal one he's pleading guilty to, which is interesting. Do he think he's gonna get less time by pleading guilty? Because it's still 22 years. It's still 22 years.
But it'll be 22 years that runs concurrent, not consecutively.
Right. So basically,
so he won't have to do, say, 20 years
22 for one,
and then come back and do. No, it will be all done at one time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it says as part of the plea agreement, he faces a sentence between 20 and 25 years in prison. Prosecutors request that he be sentenced 25 years in prison to be served concurrently with his current 22 and a half years sentence on state. Basically, it's saying, so then if the judge were to give him 25 years, as soon as he got out the state, he would still have 2.5 years left on federal.
Okay.
Right. So basically, again, so for those of you in legal jargon or whatever,
legalese they call it.
Right.
Daily.
It's legal jargon.
Legalese.
Yeah, legalese. So to put it, he got
DDI.
He got 25 years, and if he had
he didn't get 25 years.
Hold on. By taking this deal, right?
You get a 2 for 1.
He says no
2 for 1.
He's going to spend only 25 years or whatever the amount of term that legally he can spend.
Mm-hmm.
Right, the minimum or whatever can spend. What is it, 12 and a half or
I don't know how they do it.
I think it's like two-thirds of his time. So that means he probably can get out in 18 years.
I don't know how they do it in Minnesota.
Right, whatever the law is, somebody can look at it. So instead of spending 40 something years in jail, he could get out in 18 to 20.
Well, the lady who there was someone who actually, I can't remember who it was. That case I want to follow. The lady who actually, the police officer who killed the young man and got it mixed up and the taser. Yes.
We said it again?
During last year.
Oh yeah. Devontae Wright, I believe the name was.
Right.
What about her?
She's up, so she's gonna be testifying. I want between getting confused, a gun and a taser.
Again, I'm gonna bet.
Don't bet, brother. Don't bet.
I'm gonna bet.
How are you a police officer and you don't know the difference between?
I'm gonna bet, right? I'm gonna bet. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm gonna bet dinner.
All right. You know where I want to go?
Wait. I want to hear what I want to hear, John.
I'm listening.
That he will not get off. That
No,
she will get off.
I'm
I believe that
listening.
she
No,
will
no,
get
no.
off.
I'm listening. She said, "Do
So
we
I'm
know
saying,
it?"
but before,
Mr. Taylor,
but wait,
let's
I'm just saying before we agree on the
Look
bet,
now.
we have to agree. What is it that we betting? What is it that we're betting that she will get off or not get off? What is the term? What are we betting on? And then we could talk about where we want to go. You think she'll get off?
I
I
can't
hope not.
make that determination.
So
at
you
this
don't
one
want to be
time.
part of the bet, Joanne? You think she's gonna get off or play guilty?
I think
Because I said that she's gonna be found not guilty.
I think they need to make her example,
I
similar
didn't
to
ask.
what we did with
We
Chauvin. So
don't.
I'm not just responding.
We do not use the criminal justice system to make examples.
Well,
That's
I
the-
think she's
that's the
guilty.
wrong point.
Period.
Okay.
I think
So
she's
so
guilty.
you're gonna bet that she's guilty,
Yes.
Andre? Andre raised his hand like John. I don't know. All right. So okay. So then I'm gonna say not guilty. You say guilty. So I already had a bet
Let me
against
tell
my
you where I
son.
want to go. Let me
Where
tell
you
you
want
where
to go?
I want to go to the River Cafe. I like that restaurant.
Where's that?
That's a beautiful
Oh,
spot.
Water Street.
That's a
River
beautiful
Cafe.
spot. River Cafe on the water.
All right.
Mhm.
I don't
Right
know
near
where.
Dumbo.
I
That's
don't know where.
beautiful.
I don't know where I want to go yet. I haven't
Okay.
thought about it.
Prefix menu, $250 per person.
I've been there several times.
I want to go to a
I've
steakhouse to
been
have
there.
lobster.
Okay. So there it is.
Did you hear what I said?
I heard
You
you.
want to go?
Steakhouse
steak.
and have lobster.
To go to a steakhouse to have lobster.
Nothing wrong with that.
So let's go back to a couple of questions from our audience earlier that we didn't address. So Mayor-elect Adam chooses. Why does she have to have a name like that, dog? What the hell
It
is it?
doesn't matter. Just
Yes,
just
it does,
keep
man.
moving.
What,
We're just
John,
so
you pronounce
proud.
that name.
We're just so
Shannon Sewell.
proud to have a black
Shannon
female.
Could she have a real name though?
Come on now.
That's a real name.
Could she have a real name?
Hater.
Oh my
hater.
God,
Let's go. Stop
Keyshawn,
Keyshawn Sewell.
right? Roderick is very
Exactly.
weird too. I told my
Roderick
mama
is
about
weird.
that. But you don't even say nothing about Joanne with an H.
It's
You,
all
you
right.
stop. You, you stop. Right?
It's
But Joanne with an H, right?
It's Joanne.
You
It's
talking about no
Joanne.
Roderick.
Let's make it
Right?
right.
You know, it's funny because we're
Joanne.
having a conversation
It's
this week, right?
Joanne,
My
okay?
name is not literally. My name is actually Roderick. Right? That's actually my name. My name is Roderick.
My actual name is Joanne. Let's try that. Okay? Joanne.
Johan. Johan. Your name is
Joanne.
when you
No,
call
it's-
Siri. When you,
No, no,
oh,
no.
wait. When you
When you
call
call-
Siri, wait. When you call Siri, what does it say?
Listen. I don't call
Right.
Siri. I don't use Siri.
You know, you Siri. All right. How about Google?
I
So,
don't use that.
Keyshawn Sewell has been named the first female
Yes.
police commissioner. Congratulations to her.
We're excited.
49 years old, who serves as Nassau Police Chief of Detectives. She was 25 years is in NCPD. First woman chosen as an NYPD commissioner. The third black person to lead NYPD in 176 years.
It's about time.
Adams have promised a campaign that he would hire a woman as commissioner. She'll begin January 1.
Yes.
Sewell will be laser focused on violent crime with a particular emphasis on gun crimes. Congratulations to her.
I want to hear that. Woo!
Right.
We're excited.
Congratulations to Miss Keyshawn Sewell on her new appointment. And also at the same time, we have the third black man in my tenure as in education. The first one being Rudy Crew.
Mhm.
And now this is then second being Dennis Walcott.
Mhm.
And now
David
Banks. So congratulations to all of these people. I think is a great. I think she needs to emphasize also on teen gang I think that
Yeah,
should be
you know what? That
a
is
focus as well.
what you just said is so important because what's been happening around lately, it's ridiculous. Staten Island, when you go around anywhere, it's scary. It's just a scary time. That's the problem. Young folks, instead of focusing on what they need to, I'm looking forward to change. I'm looking forward to the new administration and new ways for them to find or new things to implement to avoid this gang situation, especially with the bail reform that we have in place. So putting things in place for our young folks to get refocused and redirected is imperative. What are your thoughts?
I agree. I agree 100%. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
um the graffiti. I'm sorry. Somebody wrote what's that? Monet brought up um the graffiti is worse. I don't know if I agree with that.
Outlets.
I don't know if the graffiti is. I think they're doing a lot more murals now than they used to do. But I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if graffiti. Maybe you have specific location, Monet,
Yeah,
where you
using
see
it
that.
as art,
But I do see a lot more murals going up, especially of the rest in peace murals. I see a lot of those
which
going up
is
around the
nice.
city.
Some of
Huh?
them are really, really nice. Some
Yeah,
of them are really, really
I
nice.
saw a couple in Canarsie on the buildings. But if you
Mhm.
have a location that you see graffiti at, the local PD actually right now should actually have it removed, especially with the cadets. So, but I don't really see it. I'm not saying that's not true, but I'm just saying I don't see it as much as I used to in the back in the 90s and the 80s and early 2000s. I definitely don't see it
The
as much.
tagging, right?
The
Tagging,
tagging and the gang tagging.
right.
Um, the
What are your
chancellor. The, my thoughts about what?
What are your thoughts, Mr. Sampson?
My thoughts are the following.
What?
We need to concentrate more on community
Mm-hmm.
and a collective buy-in from the community in order to really have the impact that we really want. We can talk, we can ask, and we can implement, but we really need a buy-in from the entire village on all aspects in order for us to achieve the goals we want to achieve. So that's my 2 cents.
I talk about the chancellor, right? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
got you, Andre.
What about the
Um,
chancellor?
the chancellor had a couple of three things that I agree with,
What's that? Talk about it.
but I don't know
Oh,
that all
the
three of them
new
can
one,
work together.
the new one, or the old one? The incoming one, or the
The
one that's
income.
leaving?
Well, the
Okay.
one that's going, I don't care what the one that's going have anything to say. She has 2 weeks of office left. What?
Is it only 2 more weeks?
Yeah, it's only.
Oh my
Technically, it's only 1 week because school finishes next week Friday.
hallelujah.
Next week Thursday is school. Rest. No more school for the remainder of the new year. Saturday school, extended school, and summer school.
Mhm.
Okay.
I don't. I was talking to one of my principal friends over the either the weekend or earlier this week, one out of two,
Mm-hmm.
and I think though all of them are good ideas, I don't know that implementation is feasible, and the human piece of it would work because people can get. Although there are teachers now who work right through the summer,
Mm-hmm.
the majority of people do not want to work during the summer. That's why it's
Mm-hmm.
hard sometimes to get teachers, especially a certain type of teachers.
Wait, especially after COVID that just transpired, a lot of people did not. Going through a year with remote learning and back and forth in regards to in school, out of school, in school, out of school, it takes a toll on you. And many people who typically would work the summer was like, I need mental health break this time around. And I think this year, with people being in school and now the fear of COVID rising again is another thing. So we have to think about how fear plays a part on next step, because now people are valuing times with family and friends more than they are valuing with money. That's why you have less and less individuals going for work and applying to work. They rather stay home and just spend time with their family because of what just transpired.
Because of
Because
what?
of
Hold on. Because of what transpired? Because of COVID.
COVID. Yeah.
So that's
And
why people aren't going to work.
no, 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 no,
Oh, I
no,
just want to make sure that we
no, no,
clarify
no,
that, Doc.
no. I think it's more deaf and just working from home is one, remotely. People are
Okay, that's understandable.
and the new mandates, a lot of people don't want to deal with mandates back and forth. You have to do this shot and that shot and booster and this, and now 5-year-olds can't go anywhere without having this mandate imposed on them. So I think
I love the words that our co-hostess use. Right.
so I think
I love the words that she used. Imposed on them.
so I think it is it's a mental, they need a mental health day. It's
I mean, the mental health month.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly what I was thinking too.
what you said, John.
I said they need a mental health month.
Oh yeah, more than that.
Mhm.
So that's the thing. That's I think that's where you need more buy-in, because after a difficult year of on and off, COVID, not COVID, people are afraid. They're going to school. Like our call stated earlier, you're going to school. You don't know who have COVID, who don't. You're taking it home. You don't know if you're taking it home. Then by the time you're notified, you don't want to be the spreader. So it is a mental toll on you.
True.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I was saying. Like when I talk about the intangibles that are there, but in order for it's one of the things that I'm concerned about.
Mhm.
Right, you're talking about from the comfort level. I'm talking
Comfort.
about from the achievement gap level.
Mm.
So, in order for you to focus on decreasing the achievement gap,
Mhm.
you have to put things into place that are drastic
True.
and that are needed to do that. So allowing our kids the opportunity to learn more in school, because the fact of the matter is kids are not efficient with doing homework at home. That's why some teachers have negated the homework component, right? Because kids, they don't do home study because of the lack of guidance or the lack of understanding, the lack of this, lack of that, lack of discipline, whatever you want to call it, right? That they don't do homework. And again, the kids who are suffering the most are our Black and brown kids, who make up the majority of our schools, our public schools. And we have gotten our cue from our producer that our time is up. We
Session done, as we
right?
say.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for listening, watching, viewing, hearing, sharing the village right here on 92.1 GD Radio. You can catch us on Facebook at The Village Talk Show. If you missed the show today, hang out on YouTube Talk Show. You can hang out on Facebook and catch our show. God bless each and every one of you, and have a very blessed weekend, where we're dedicated to empowering the community to live a healthy, safe, and financially capable life through education, helping each one of us in realizing our dreams at any point, starting at any age, at any point, starting today. God bless each and every one of you.
God bless.
Success is
Next
not
week,
spoken, it is done. God bless.
It's not spoken, it is done. Success is done. Come on now. The Village Talk Show. Talk Show. The Village Talk Show.